Alrighty guys, what is up? ITZWhateva here, and we're coming at you with BBR Season 9. Last year we were last season, we were a replacement coach. This time, we're staying on business and we're coming back. Now, I think we were, 13th out of 16? And there were some pretty good guys I really wanted to use. And oh goodness, I wanted like so many Terra guides because I was like, oh, I don't know when I'll be able to get them again. But there's been one Pokemon that I have not been able to use, like so far this gen. And I went ahead and got them first pick. That's right, it's Palafin. This is our boy All Might. By the way, we're doing My Hero nicknames for sure. I figured after we got Palafin, that's the perfect time to do so. But yeah, we got Palafin. I think it was like max points, whatever. I've never been able to use Palafin. I think he's super scary in like the hands where he's not just, Banded Wave Crash, even though that is a really good like set. But just Jet Punch priority, super strong, bulk up, taunt, encore, or does it get encore? I don't know. I know it gets taunt. But like bulk up sets, drain punch, close combat hits those, water types that want to come in. Like, it's so amazingly strong, and I'm really excited to use it. We did miss out on Terra Raging Bolt. We did miss out on Terra Namorous. Those are the two guys that I really wanted to use as a Terra to kind of pair with this guy. Raging Bolt I figured was going to be going like right after. It was Terra Annihilape and Terra Raging Bolt were right before me, or I think it was Thomas who was between Annihilape and Raging Bolt, and he really wanted to use both of them, and so it was like, oh, one of them's gonna fall to me, and then I was like, oh, well, there's like 3 other Terras that like I really want to use, so I was like, let me just go ahead and get Palafin, and then I might be able to snag one of those on the way back. Turns out no, so no Bolt, no Namorous, totally fine. But yeah, I'm really excited for using Palafin. He looks super cool, and I haven't used him yet. I'm a little worried about it because my last season, BBL, we all know I didn't position my main guy that well, and Palafin is all about positioning. So I want to at least challenge myself to do a little bit better than I did with my main guy last time. So yeah, that's Palafin. I thought the best thing to pair him with is Ting Lu here. Ting Lu is probably one of the best hazard setters in the format. It gives me a ground and a dark. Like, this is already checking off so many things that I need. He's just so fat and incredibly bulky. And if I can get a spike up and force things out with Palafin, and also, if someone's trying to, click Thunderbolt or whatever on my Palafin switching out, Ting Lu is probably one of the best, switch-ins to like sponge hits and not really care about the damage that you do to it. But yeah, so that's Ting Lu. He's real simple. Amazing ability. It, basically means that he's got a boost to his special defense at all times, which is awesome. And yeah, so then we went with our Terramon, Necrozma. Now, there was a couple Terra guys that started going around round 2 and 3. The one that was left for me was this Necrozma. Now, I think Necrozma is probably one of the top 10 Terra guys allowed. So I was really excited to be able to get him in round 3. I figured, with Prism Armor, setup opportunity, you can go Calm Mind for special, physical sets with Dragon Dance. I think he's like super strong and just can do that. He could also just be a bulky support, knock off any, boots or anything, get up hazards with Stealth Rock. But yeah, literally could be either an offensive powerhouse or a defensive monster to pair along with Ting Lu. And after that, I was like, okay, our team's not super fast. I want a little bit of speed here, at least something. And there was one thing I really wanted going into this draft, other than Palafin. Palafin was one of the other ones. And that was one of the Ogre Pawns. Now, at this point, round 4, surprisingly, or not surprisingly, Ogerpon, Teal, and Wellspring both went like, I think they were like round 2 guys-ish. But they went, and I got Hearthflame. Hearthflame seems super strong. Like, fire coverage with Mold Breaker just seems so cool. He can set up spikes against like a Hatterene or something like that. I think that's pretty cool. Really, he's just here to bonk stuff, get up hazards, taunt. Also as a grass type, because it gives me like a grass switch in, I should say, because Palafin kind of brings in the waters and the grasses, and this guy can take advantage of that and kind of like really put on some pressure on just a lot of mons, and I thought that was really cool. Kind of going with the theme here though. We got 1, 2, 3 guys in a row with hazards. Fuck it, let's make it 4. We got Glamora. Now Glamora obviously has the toxic debris, but I also really like the corrosion potential of getting a toxic off on some of these fatter teams, especially because not all the time am I gonna be able to break through something with Palafin. So if we get like hazards up or whatever, and then toxic, this thing's also super strong. I think it's like base 130 special attack. It's not the fastest, which is probably its like downside, but I think poison and rock are very good offensive kind of pressure. It's also a a secondary fairy resist, because fairy's like a very prominent typing. And I figured, hey, let's go ahead and get something else, because Ogerpon is not going to be able to run boots or anything. It should be able to help with that a little bit. Now at this point, look at this budget. 32 points. We got our top 5 guys. I love our top 5 guys. We just got to get someone who can kind of work their way in to be one of the top guys and kind of work with that. I'm looking at this team. I'm like, damn, I'm slow as fuck. So what does everybody who says I'm slow as fuck in round 6 do? They draft Noivern. Noivern, he's all right. I'm not going to say he's the GOAT. We all know what he's here for. Fast, flying dragon, a little kind of a switch into ground types helps with that a little bit. But he's mainly here for his 120, I think 3 speed tier. Just give me something that's actually fast. I don't have to like scarf or anything like that, because Ogerpon can't run a scarf, so I need at least some sort of speed in that department. Now at this point, I'm like, okay, well we have Terra Necrozma. We have 28 points to Terra. Necrozma's 20 of them. Let's get an 8.1 and something that I could actually use. So we got Wo Chen. Now Wo Chen is super solid, I think, with Terra, because like if you think about it, the worst thing about this guy is his typing. So if you take that away, he could be super like a fairy type. Like give him fairy type, knock off, leech seed, stun spore, just super annoying. Just super, super annoying. And I think that would be really, really fun. I think that's going to be a solid Terra type guy that I could actually bring to games. That could even like, I don't want to say, that could use the Terra when Necrozma doesn't, So that is something that I was kind of thinking there. Next, I wanted to get a steel type, because I was either going to get a fairy type or a steel type here. The fairies are really not that good at this point. Now I wanted to try this guy for a little bit. It's going to be Reverum. This is, going to be our steel type. He's going to be, I don't know. I thought he seemed fun. I think parting shots are a really cool thing. The speed tier is kind of like middling, so it gives me another kind of guy in that range. And then also we have the shift gear, shenanigans, which, can always be fun for a week or two. And then lastly, we got 6 points left. We had to do it to him. Give me Big Belly Bolt. That's my friend right here. Oh my god, my goat, Belly Bolt. I have a plushie of him. He's one of my favorite guys of all time. And that's one of my favorite things of all time. Also, did I forget to mention, I'm doing My Hero. Ooh, there's a timer for me. Looks like dinner's almost ready. Belly Bolt is Fat Gum. Reverum is Ingenium. Wo Chen is Eraserhead. Noivern's Jiro. Glamour's what? That purple-haired girl. Nagant. Ogerpon is Endeavor. All for One for Necrozma, which I think is a fire nickname, because he's going to be all Terra types too. Gigantomachia for Ting Lu, and then of course Palafin is Art All Might. These are My Hero nicknames, my favorite show, with some of my favorite one of my favorite teams that I've drafted, and it looks like it's gonna be a fun one. So yeah, I'll see you guys next week with our round one or week one, I guess. Peace.